If you thought summer would be a slow time for Azure, you were proven wrong over the last month. There are a ton of announcements and updates to get to, so let's dive in. For Pluralsight, I'm David Tucker, and this is the August 2021 episode of Cloud Tracker for Microsoft Azure. Let's dive right into our featured announcements for this month. Back in February, Azure announced that a new firewall service was in preview. This service, known as Azure Firewall Premium, provided additional features that are must-haves for many highly regulated environments. So I'm glad to announce that as of this month, this service too is generally available. Now with this, organizations can leverage features including signature-based intrusion detection and prevention, TLS inspection, and URL filtering. Now, if this is of value to your organization, you can check out the link I've included in the episode notes for a further review of the service features, as well as information on how to migrate to this next generation configurable firewall from Microsoft. Now, next, Grafana is one of the most popular open source tools for observability and analytics. As of this month, Microsoft has released significant updates to its Azure Monitor plugin for Grafana, and these updates are now generally available. Now, with this set of updates, users can expect 3 new features. First, the Azure plugin can query the Azure Resource Graph directly. This gives you the ability to create finely tuned queries for Azure resources that you want to analyze with Grafana. Now, second, there is now support for managed identities with the integration, meaning that you can configure Azure Monitor from within Grafana if the managed identity for the VM has that permission. And finally, there are now deep links from Grafana to get you into the Azure Portal Metrics Explorer, providing a more seamless way to navigate between these two tools. So you can get information in the episode notes on how you can leverage these new features with Grafana today. Now, as more and more organizations embrace a NoSQL database for cloud scale solutions, there is a challenge in finding the right tools for monitoring and observing these databases. Now, given the popularity of Cosmos DB on Azure, Microsoft has worked to provide new ways for its implementers to get a detailed picture of how they are using it. So this month, Microsoft announced that Insights and Workbooks for Cosmos DB are both now generally available. With Insights, you can review the most critical metrics for any Cosmos DB database, while with Workbooks, you can analyze your usage and cross-reference that data with other data you're collecting about your applications and solutions. Check out the link in the episode notes for the announcements of these features. Next, we have our platform updates for Azure, and we have a lot to get to. First off, Microsoft has announced several machine learning features that are now in public preview. This includes cross-location compute, which lets you create clusters in different locations than the core workspace. Also, with compute instance auto shutdown and auto start, you gain an automated way to manage your overall compute cost with Azure ML. Check out these and the other new machine learning features in the episode notes. Now, you can automatically upgrade your Azure VM extensions since the upgrade feature is now generally available. So with this feature, which is available for virtual machines and virtual machine scale sets, if you enable upgrades on a VM, they will be installed seamlessly when the publisher of the extension posts an update. This entire rollout process is managed by Azure and requires no manual intervention. Azure Migrate now has a new capability in preview that makes it even easier to move your ASP.NET and Java apps into the cloud to either Azure Kubernetes Service or the Azure App Service. Now, this app containerization tool from Azure Migrate is designed to require few or no changes to the original application code. Microsoft states that this tool will help organizations deal with common containerization tasks, including parameterizing configuration values, configuring persistent file system volumes, and configuring monitoring. This tool is now in public preview, and you can follow the links in the episode notes to get additional information. Now, we talked in a previous episode about Azure Manage HSM shifting to being generally available. However, there were some features that were not yet GA. Now, one of these was Private Link, which provides a connection from your virtual network to Azure, your data center, or partner services. As of this month, this feature is now generally available and provides additional security for your public or hybrid cloud workflows. Now, if you're using Azure Virtual Desktop, you now have the ability to enable users to restart VMs that have been shut down when that user attempts to connect to it. This gives you the ability to put another cost control step in place while also reducing the effort required to restart these machines. Now, we have two specific storage announcements this month. First, we're going to talk about immutability. If you are in a highly regulated industry and need to ensure immutability of specific data for a period of time, you'll be glad to know that Azure Blob Storage now supports immutable storage with versioning in public preview. According to Microsoft, once data is written, the data becomes non-erasable and non-modifiable, and you can set a retention period so that files can't be deleted until after that period has elapsed. Now, this policy can be applied at a container or object level. Check out the episode notes for information on how to test out this preview. Now, next up for storage, we have Azure Blob Storage Container Soft Delete, which is now generally available. This feature enables you to set soft delete at the container level and set a retention period for those deletes, which defaults to 7 days. Now, other than paying for the storage of the retained data, there is no additional charge to utilize this feature. Now, if you work with Azure Stream Analytics, you now have a new tool in your development process. The official VS Code extension for this service is now generally available, and with this extension, you can easily create new version-controlled projects for Stream Analytics, as well as use the Job Monitor, which illustrates job diagrams, logs, metrics, and more. Check out the link in the episode notes for how to get this installed into VS Code today. Next, Azure Service Bus has increased the limit for its message size from 1 megabytes to 100 megabytes. Now, it is important to note that this increase is currently in public preview, but this can have a big impact for developers that were having to split larger messages into smaller ones. Check out the link in the episode notes for how to test out this preview. Next, we're going to talk about two new integrations for Azure Event Grid. Now, first up is API management. With this integration, you can use API management to push events to Event Grid. Developers that are leveraging these two services will likely be able to reduce the amount of custom code required to make these two services seamlessly work together. And also, Event Grid now more seamlessly integrates with Azure Kubernetes Service. With this integration, you can get events that let you know when new Kubernetes versions as well as when new node image versions are available. This can enable new automated management workflows for AKS. Both of these Event Grid integrations are now in public preview. Now, we announced the release of Azure Communication Services during one of the first episodes of Cloud Tracker, and this service has a new feature in public preview, and that is call recording. This feature that was announced at build but has just become available in preview enables recording of both audio and video for calls through the service. Check out the documentation to see how to get this working for your Azure Communication Services solutions. For this month's learning resource, I have a video course that provides essential information for every Azure developer. This video course by Matt Alford provides an overview of implementing DevOps by using GitHub alongside Azure. Now, this course covers concepts like how to best leverage GitHub Actions, how to create and deploy ARM templates, dealing with secrets and configuration values, as well as using Azure Bicep. Every organization that is deploying solutions to Azure should be using infrastructure as code. I consider it an essential skill for any developer working in the cloud. If you or your organizations need to upskill a bit in this area, check out this course, which provides a current overview of best practices in this area. Thanks for joining us for this month's Cloud Tracker for Microsoft Azure. You can find links to everything I've discussed in the episode notes. I'll see you next month to discuss what's new in the cloud here on Cloud Tracker.